Greetings, Metanthropes, and welcome to Meta Monday, episode 60. I'm your host and narrator, John, and I am joined with me, as always, with Lefteris QP, the orchestrator. Greetings, bro.
Hello, everyone. Greetings, Metanthropes. Greetings, bro. Excited to be here again this month for another Meta Monday show with cool reveals.
Today is all gonna be about presenting and showcasing our Metanthropes Anthologies Astral upcoming module. Much like we did last month with Nether, now it's time for Astral. Our alpha backers will receive it by the end of this week, and our beta access backers of our Kickstarter campaign will receive the Nether module for playtesting and feedback mainly. So here we are in a fictional city, in a fictional timeline, in Neo Agra, in India, where this story primarily takes place. Where shall we begin? We shall begin with with a little bit about the backstory of this adventure.
Yeah. Let's start with an overview. Let's say instead of.
So it all begins with a certain Metanthrope, Ravid Zatav, aka Lord Oneiros, the Lord of Dreams, who has been sent by the multiversal faction of Metanthropes Collectiva to a timeline where he took with him futuristic technology, and when he arrived he was in the 90s of that particular modern timeline, in a similar world much like our own. But this new advancement in technology that Oneiros brought with him propelled the whole timeline to a new direction. Instead of focusing on smartphones, on social media, and later in artificial technology, the whole timeline swifted towards this new technology, which was essentially allowing everyone to record their dreams, to upload them, and eventually to edit them and take full control of what they dream, how they sleep, how they recover, and the whole world shifted. Mega corporations have become essentially the new governments, in much like many cyberpunk, dystopian or utopian, however you want to call it, mostly dystopian, you can say, timelines. And what this really meant is that it allowed everyday people to enter the astral dimension and have control over it. It is a story of control, influence, and fragility of free will, showing how entire timeline and the history of humankind can be reshaped by one charismatic Metanthrope. And boy, this Metanthrope is indeed a very charismatic one. You're a big fan of Oneiros, are you not? From what you have seen so far.
Yeah. For sure, Oneiros has, I guess, depending on how you play it, of course, but the idea is that John said very charismatic. I would call him the ultimate manipulator, but sure, charismatic will also work. Essentially, it's the type of antagonist that it's hard to justify smashing his face, although I'm sure that in many cases players have tried, but it's a sort of antagonist that will try to how to say it, there are some sessions that we played during the closed alpha where I remember some scenes with Oneros recruiting party members to his cause and spreading, discord and dissent within the party. And I think those sessions really showcase some of the, the alternative meta gameplay that you can do with Metanthropes, where you know what's happening, behind the scenes, but in character, it's very hard to not break a laugh, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later down the line when we present the roleplay and everything. But is definitely, it's not your stereotypical antagonist where at the end of the day you're looking forward to smashing or dealing lots of damage and blasting and strikes and all that, but it's the variety he has in terms of both his meta powers and the fact that he's a master manipulator, so the narrators can really take it, as we've seen in early playtests, in some really wonderful narrative places. Don't you agree, John?
Yeah, it's in the like 3 or something playtests I've already done, like maybe in 2 of them, at least one player sided with Oneros. So definitely, yeah, he's silver-tongued. So continuing with an overview, I was the Consort Master Oneros seized power and weaved an entire society around dreams, sleep, meditation and mind-altering substances. Here dreams were commercialized, megacorporations act as instruments of social engineering, and every narrative becomes a weapon of manipulation. Under the surface, this timeline's politics stretch far beyond the borders of India or Neagra in India or this entire world. It's a tale of secret spies, corporations, and cultural programming. It has a very heavy political and geopolitical, you can say, themes, but at its core it's about esotericism, self-discovery, and the cost of desire. Since we are delving deep into the astral dimension, the players will come face to face with their deepest fears, their straight desires, but also by encountering the incarnations of divinity, they may even encounter the deities that they once worshipped as humans. And at the end of this journey, there is a fabled final door where, should one of the protagonists manage to cross it, there is a promise of unlimited wish. So it poses a very interesting question to its player and their protagonist. If you were given the ability to wish for anything, what would you ask for? So what would you ask for, bro, if your protagonist managed to get such a power?
That's a very, very interesting question. I haven't been asked to. It's one of those questions that you wake up one day and you think of something, and you wake up the next day and you think of something else, and by the end of the month you have like 30 odd something different ideas and you can't decide between them. I don't know. How about you, John? What would you do?
Obviously it depends on the character that you play, and I'm more used to wearing the shoes of NPCs rather than players, but perhaps I would try to cheat and find a way to ask for more wishes or something. But yeah, don't worry, I have been I'm aware that many players will try to do something like that, and there is a whole chapter for the narrators running the story called The Anatomy of a Wish, who really boils down every little detail of what they might ask and what they might really receive, because sometimes these wishes is like bargaining with the devil. I've had players in Dungeons and Dragons who didn't really understood. It was like the version 3.5 with the wish spell was much more powerful than it's in the 5th edition, and they didn't fully understood what they can do with it and how it can backfire. Shout out to Clayman, who all his wishes was like out of control. It was like, if you wish that, you know that you might like live forever in hell or something. So yeah, getting back to the setting of the story before we go to the ending of the story, which is the final door and the wish. Nominally, Ioneros arrives in something like the mid-90s, around the birth of internet, but you know, it really encapsulates the entire shift of the century, of the millennia rather, from going to one direction, which is the direction that we know today in real life, and he took it into another direction, everything shifting around the world of dreams.
Completely.
And every major technological leap, cultural shift, and political realignment were touched by this unseen hand of the concertmaster Oneiros. From the outside, it is a world where war, famine, and crime has been reduced to astronomically low levels. So, thus, hence, rather, how one can consider a utopian world. Nations still exist and carry some influence, but the true power rests in the boardrooms and corporate meetings of the transnational conglomerates. These are mega corporations, which we'll talk about them pretty soon, which exactly they are and how they do, which are basically shaping media, commerce, engineering, basically everything, including the very dreams of all the people in the world. So it's literally a unique timeline in that sense. Oneiros originates from the city of Agra in India, which is a real life city, but in his own timeline, when he was transferred there, he renamed it New Agra and built it as the headquarters of his new company, namesake company Oneiros Corp, and the entire vision that he had. And given 20 years, around like 2 decades, he has totally swifted this world. In New Agra, lucid dreaming is as common as morning coffee. And entire sectors of the city and the whole world conduct businesses, politics, and even law enforcement within dreamscapes. Imagine that this neural technology, which is something like a little chip that you place on your forehead, which allows you to record your dreams so that others can see it or you can see it later. You can monitor it, you can alter it, and basically you are venturing into the astral dimension at will and having power over it. So for the first time in history, the astral dimension is not considered like a myth or something that is hidden behind the lore wall, should I say, but every citizen knows about it, and in fact they have been mapped, the frontiers have been mapped, and has been actually marketed. So spirituality has been no less transformed. Imagine that you're being a religious person, you can actually engage with Buddha or whatever is your divinity that you pray upon. And and not just religious people, monks gathering in numbers are able to alter the astral environment through meditation. And yet beneath this crystalline polished facade, something festers. Imagine that this technology, although accessible, much like a smartphone, let's say in our old world, it provides many dangerous addictions, especially when it comes in combination with another mega corporation aside from Oneiros Corp, the Zenua Pharmaceuticals, who provide chemical enhancement that affect psychosynthesis, and this combination has on the top echelons of the world the elite dreaming the exact dreams that they want to dream every night, lucid dreaming making their fantasies into reality, waking up fully rejuvenated, fully recovered, fully energized to go on the businesses. Whilst on the lower end, we have all the people who become addicted to this first sweet dose of this new essentially drug that they're being offered, but then are not able to continue this subscription model that Oneros Corp follows, and they end up reliving their nightmares, becoming addicted to these chemical substances of the other mega corporation, and basically becoming something like dream zombies, should I say, or something. So it has an interesting duality, and that's not all. There's another mega corporation.
So it's both like a dystopian cyberpunk world in those cities, in some suburbs, in some areas, and there's also the elitists who favor and create their own and live in their own utopias. So
exactly,
instead of this being like a digital virtual reality setting, it's on the astral dimension living.
Right. Yeah, you can definitely
in a dreamscape.
You can definitely see it like that. Yeah, absolutely. And we have all those in between, the masses, and the masses seek one thing: to be entertained. So we have a third company called Massreel, who is basically a huge reality show that live streams the dreams of others. So there's not really privacy in this world, and creates a whole dream shows that creates idols overnight. It's like a Big Brother show on super steroids that's live, interactive, based on the subconscious of the dreamers, and it has captivated the world in such a sense that it's the main source of media worldwide. It's the most sought after, and everyone can be a content creator by just sleeping. So their motto is like, if you can dream it, you can stream it, or something like that. And last but not least, we also have another mega corporation called Takinama Enterprises, which they orchestrate the worldwide surveillance and dream regulation. They're like the dream cops, but they also have satellites, have like drones in every city, and it's like they may be even above normal law enforcement and military and governments. So together, those four mega corporations. Oh, sorry, there's one more actually, which is theoretically not a corporation; it's a non-profit organization, which is the Astral, sorry, I forgot the name. Astral Dream Initiative. Oh my God. Astral something initiative. I'm not sure about the name right now, which is basically.
So okay. Let's jump into. I know the table of contents is not finalized yet, but in which journal would you find this information?
Surely it's in locations. Astral Faith Initiative. That was the word that was missing. The Astral Faith Initiative. So this one is another great pillar in this world, which is basically it's centered around the spirituality and of this and faith and religion of this world, which is basically a new world order where all religions are combined into one basically directive, and they are the ones, even though in supposedly a non-profit organizations, but they are the ones who are taking advantage of this situation. So it's they're basically erasing the differences between faiths, in a singular ecumenical vision and uniting them under a dream-centered theology. So we have Oneiros Corp, which is the main attraction of this timeline and story. We have Zenuat Pharmaceuticals, who provide all those substances and chemical dependencies to the world. We have the Mass Real, who is all about the media, and if it's worth dreaming, it's worth streaming. That's their motto. The Astral Faith Initiative and the Takinama Enterprises. Those four great pillars are the setting of this world. So what is the mission of this particular book of Metanthropes Anthologies Astral? On the surface, they are being given the mission by the conductor of the Collectiva faction, Thiruvati Brahamin, and it is about to check on Oneiros in case he has gone completely rogue, and to see if this hyperrealm, this supposed loophole, this supposed realm within realm, pocket dimension, should you say, hidden pocket dimension within Astral, which has the ability to grant all wishes come true, if it's real or not. Although this is just a surface and there is a lot of underlying truths and challenges that the group may face, not limited to combat or just diplomacy, but rooted in awareness and self-discovery. Again, much like we did with Nether, we're not gonna be spoiling everything, but it's a completely new environment and a brand new world, should I say, brave new world that the coalition can explore. And how about we change the map and start showcasing where the actual mission may begin?
Well, perhaps before we elaborate on the map, we can also talk about the astral dimension. A little bit.
True. So yeah, also the faction too. So it's a book of and module of the anthology series is centered around one specific faction of Metanthropes and one specific direction. The faction here is the Collectiva, and the dimension is the Astral dimension. On the one hand, we have the Collectiva faction, who have their vision of unanimity of all Metanthropes working as one and being as one. They're all about collective intelligences, and they're a very secretive faction with hidden protocols, secret codes, half-truths in every mission. And we have a journal with full information about them, from their ethics and beliefs to the recruitment process, who they sit after, who they seek, the hierarchy, outposts, allies, missions, arsenals, and even politics, how they have influenced the multiversal rather, story of the Metanthropes as a multiversal species in all historical and important events like the Veiled Accords. And also we have secrets, because they're all about the secrecy and the secret protocols and what they really seek after. And when it comes to the dimension, we have the astral dimension, the landscape of collective imagination, where it's all the dreams, the desires, fear, beliefs, and the collective imagination of the inhabitants. So everyone who dreams, partially their spirit, their soul is transferred and mind to the astral dimension. But it's not just a place about dreams, it's all about what you believe to be real takes shape there. So all the folklore, fables, mythology, local legends, anything like that, and folk tales take form and shape into the astral dimension. So we have another journal that's full information about this particular dimension, its mechanics, its inhabitants, the powerful spirits, animals, and incarnations to be found there, locations, lots of secrets, and it's a very important dimension in this particular story, as one way or another the players will eventually visit it, and depending on their psychosynthesis, they may confront their deepest desires or their worst fears, the worst nightmares come to life. Pretty cool stuff.
Mhm.
So even though the story can begin in other locations outside of New Agra, especially in an expanded saga that the narrator wants to explore the whole world, they can visit in Paris, France, the headquarters of Zenoid Pharmaceuticals, and they have unique coalition opportunities and secrets to unravel there. From Los Angeles to Masril to Singapore for Astral Faith Initiative, or in Japan for Takinama Enterprises. But eventually the story will lead them to Oneros' tower in New Agra, and this might be the first scene of the new maps that they may encounter. Now I want to clarify that there will be a lot more of new tokens and a lot more token variations in this map. It's something new that we want to explore and experiment with. You want to give it a couple of words about the variation of tokens that we have our beloved 2D storyteller working on them right now?
Yeah, you can just a nudge move the screen a little bit up, and you'll see there's supposed to be this. You're entering this tower, and you're entering this massive lobby area, full with electronic screening devices and lots of military guards and military awareness and presence. So currently, as you can see, there's a few tokens there, but eventually very soon, before I would say the end of the summer, we will have multiple variations of these tokens, of these security guards, and I think they will have both a different stance and different weapon, and some of them will get some higher insignias and some cool new uniform. But the idea is that this is a great token that can be used in very many different ways, as a security guard or some kind of enforcer or a futuristic cop or something like that. So these guys are pretty cool, and soon they will have a much bigger, broader arsenal of weapons and outfits. Later we'll see the penthouse, and there's also opportunity for some elite guards there, and so on. So this is the big lobby scene, and it's very reminiscent of the Matrix movie lobby scene, or something like that. At least it was one of the main influences, I think, that we all agreed upon when we started working on how the story will flow, and the need for this area to do like a big combat scene. And I can definitely see, someone enacting a scene where you just go through the the electronic screening devices and just
pushing the
say
security
hello
guard
to
and then
your
open
friend,
your trench
you know?
coat and start firing. There's definitely one way to do this. You can enter by pose as visitors, as experts. You can go with the infiltration and reconnaissance using meta powers such as invisibility or intangibility, and gain information through technopathy and other means, or telepathy by scanning the minds of those inside and gain information. Or you can go guns blazing. There's lots of ways that you can begin this special journey. Much like with the all other maps, we have special lights that fit and make the scene even more immersive. We also have a unique soundscape for Astral 2. Here we have lobby sounds, and there are actual commercials playing, and lots of other sounds. They're not really, you cannot really enjoy them while we have this lofi music for our live stream in the background. So I will allow everyone to enjoy them on their own. Let me show you a scene, not this one actually, this one. Still, this is like this is like possibly from a point of view of a camera in this building. And we have the security guards, we have a receptionist, and we have huge screens that broadcast 24/7 the dreams of others, especially those attempting to cross the final door. And we see the silver mist of Astral and the door, and maybe there is a contender trying to make their wishes come true, and the whole world is watching. And we have, in case things go sideways, so we have a full-on combat scene. We have right next to the entrance some barracks with extra guards, and the locker room where they put on the suits and they arm themselves. We have a security, like a man in the chair type of
You should
room.
also mention that the doors are still a placeholder,
Right.
final.
And actually, this
but
particular,
there will be animated doors and everything there.
The tokens, animations with the doors, more soundscapes, variations, new tokens. There's a lot of things coming. This is not the finalized project by any means. We have also a toilet. You may use a toilet. Maybe you do something sneaky over there as a player. Like changing clothes or something to pretend someone else. Here we have the Dream Lounge. It's an interesting area where dreamers of all kinds, sleepwalkers, meditating monks, lucid dreamers of all kinds may enter and find a comfortable bed and sleep, and they put their Neuralink on, and there's a screen that's projecting the dreams, and together they collaborate in the astral dimension to build a narrative. But we also may encounter, this is invisible now to the eyes of the humans, but it is one of the new extra dimensional entities that you may encounter. This one is a Mora. It's what we call something like a sleep paralysis demon with a very interesting arsenal of meta powers, and a possible encounter for the players too. And we also have, Oneiros shouldn't be here. What are you doing here, Oneiros? Get out of there. It's not your time to present. We have a very cool lobby here with a very cool piano music. I don't know if you can hear it. But players can enjoy a drink here and have a nice little roleplay chat. And then they may move to another scene, which is, again, these tokens will be updated. They will be unique and not just the same guy all the time. But this is a big conference room with holograms of the city and a big screen. And essentially here we call this room the boardroom courtship, which
conference room,
which the players will be will encounter the heads of this mega corporations that we talked about earlier, and although none of them really knows that they are metanthropes, supposedly, maybe some will do, I can't say, but there is a chance for the players to make deals with these heads of these corporations, because as soon as they realize that they are guests of the great Lord Oneiros, the CEO of Oneiros Corp, they will try to make all sorts of deals. They might offer them powerful emotional stabilizers and powerful hyper sprays that they boost their intelligence and cognitive capabilities within the dream world. Mass media may offer them, mass real may offer them to make them worldwide stars. So materialistic or other type of metanthropes may find this very interesting, although it doesn't have to do anything with the multiversal metanthrope politics, but it's really important for the politics of this human world. So players may bypass it, or they may indulge themselves and strike all kinds of deals. They may find, some links, missing links in Oneiros's armor, in the sense that they may dig up secrets and learn important information about the setting or particular NPCs in the world in general. As you can see, Oneiros is quite a vain person, egocentrical you might say, has a huge stud of himself with logos of his name behind them. But there is an encounter over here that the players shouldn't miss, in a sense. Well, they're free to do whatever they want, but what I'm trying to say is that the NPCs here will do their best to make sure that this encounter happen, because it's a encounter between metanthropes. This is not humans anymore. These are three main metanthrope characters. You may call them allies, antagonists, neutrals. It's up to the players really how they interact with them and what sorts of relationships and disposition they choose to have with all of them. We have Henry on the left, very chill person.
My man Henry with the
with the herbal tea.
Big Lebowski vibe around.
Yeah, certainly. He's a master lucid dreamer. We have Desdemona Rayleigh on the back with her smart glasses and cool outfit attire, who is the Chief Technical Officer of Oneiros Corp, who has a private talk who wants to have a private talk with the protagonist as soon as everyone realizes that they are metanthropes and so on, depending on how they choose to enter this and experience the story really. And on the right we have Zhang Zheli, who's a monk of the Himalayan, who is also a metanthrope, who is in disbelief that she's a metanthrope really, who presents very unique and interesting role-playing opportunities with her. She knows nothing about the multiverse, barely knows and believes that what is a metanthrope, and has no belief in herself that she's one. This is a place for great exposition, dialogue, striking deals, learning secrets, interacting with other metanthropes, and which might eventually lead to them following Desdemona to the elevator over here. And there is an interesting secretive encounter that takes place here, elevator secrets. I'm not gonna spoil what happens said here. I don't know if you can hear them, but there is ongoing playing like some commercials, like if you can dream it, you believe it, go further, go beyond. There's like elevator lights with screens playing all the time, and this and also ads like a color commentator, like UFC, with our new exclusive all-inclusive package. You can sign up, and eventually this elevator will lead them to our second scene, which is the penthouse of Oneiros. So yeah, this is a spoiler area, whatever happens here, but they will eventually reach this side This is through the big elevator, you know, or whatever. You have two different elevators, and eventually they will reach this penthouse, and you can actually make sure to make it even more dramatic. This is what the players will be seeing most likely. So they will encounter like various pieces of art that showcase Oneiros in various art forms, like Andy Warhol type of style or not. This will be the new specialized bodyguards of Oneiros, and they should go through some glass doors of high security. We're gonna have like special unique doors, and this is like a glass corridor which just takes them through lots and lots of like put your handprint, scan your retina and so on with bodyguards. So if they chose violence in the previous floor, this is gonna be quite a difficult test, because although they're just humans, we're talking about like the best of the best in what they do, and they have very high stats. Expertise 5. This is like a ninja type of bodyguard with katana plus 25. You know, these are no joke, although they're human. If you choose violence, it's gonna be quite a challenging combat situation. But let's say that they chose something like diplomacy or anything between. They will make this whole runaway through this door, and they will eventually enter through here. And although they will be able through the glass to see this whole area and Oneiros waiting for them, they won't be able to interact. And once they enter here, they will immediately sense the polarizing the polarizing, magnetizing personality of Oneiros, who's just not a egocentrical narcissist vain bastard, which he definitely is, but it's also a very, very powerful metanthrope, one of the best manipulators in the multiverse, really, with meta powers maybe even exceeding level 5, which is certainly very, very interesting. So much like every James Bond villain or something, he's watching the whole tower and all the premises and everything through his area over here with the screens. He's all about, he's a very artistic personality and very expressive and very hedonistic. So we have musical instruments, we have many sorts of substances or whatnot on his table, trinkets and art pieces throughout the whole world. We have obviously a specialized bar with everything that you can imagine to get, and a huge, biggest bed I've ever seen, king-size bed, of course, which rumors say that he sleeps up with more than one person.
4 king-size beds.
Yeah, he can host definitely many people over here in his bed. Imagine like each of those hexagons like 2 meters. So yeah, this actually bed's like 8 meters wide and like 6 to 8 meters tall. Definitely for a good time sleep, let's say, and nothing more, nothing.
For a good night's sleep, yeah.
With many people around you. We have soundscapes here, maybe.
Look at how small the grand piano is compared to the bed.
Yeah, really. Maybe Oneiros will sit over here and start playing piano. Or maybe you have piano soundscapes, or maybe he will play his electrical guitar, have a solo. As you can see, Oneiros' token is always smoking from this stylish cigarette that he has, but as you can see, the smokes circling around him make some interesting patterns. This way you can never really tell when you're around Oneiros if you're dreaming and what you're seeing is small particles and pieces of the astral's silver mists, or he just smokes and he's really good at creating smoke shapes like Gandalf was with his circles and ships going through them. What we see here that is invisible to the common eye is in an incarnation. This is like the top of the food chain when it comes to incarnations and extra dimensional entities of astral dimension. This one in particular is not like the personification of one of the deities that we previously discussed, but this is a new one. This is an incarnation of transformation, and this is like the aspect of change that can come through dreams, and has a very interesting arsenal of meta powers that can actually alter the reality, alter the materials and the materials around them, like an alchemist turning gas into water and water into solid and so on, can transmute energy and also be open gates to astral and many other powerful abilities. The narrator can choose to introduce this one over there, this character, this encounter over here, or once they really enter astral, because how they will choose to interact with this whole scenario, how will they side with Oneiros. Oneiros actually has a very thorough background. As you can see, it's like a really big background and an really interesting role play. So as you can see, it is a really complex character, as we discussed on the opening of this live stream, and there are a lot of ways that you can make him into a sympathetic encounter, not just an antagonist. Players can side with him, players can dig into his background, learn his past, and what's his motivation of doing whatever he has done. And of course, all the mission objectives surrounding, is he faithful to Collectiva? Is he going rogue? Has he another maybe ace up his sleeve? Again, no spoilers. This is not a spoiler review, this is just an overview. I have another interesting character here called Uriel. Since we don't have his token right now, I'm not gonna go through him a lot, but he's very interesting human characters. I really like making interesting human characters as much as I like making interesting Metanthrope characters, because this is about maybe the class of humanity with the Metanthropes. And don't you agree that also human characters should have cool backgrounds and be very important characters?
Oh,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
Metanthropes?
Yeah, I think it's at the core of the game to explore these. Where does the human come to help or support the Metanthrope? And again, it depends with how the Metanthrope faction, obviously, because some of them are not very friendly to humans, but others use them as pawns, others use them as allies. Other factions consider the humans something to be preserved and protected, and for some factions, humans could be food. So in the multiverse of Metanthrope, there's definitely this dynamic of where in your story you want to fit the human dash Metanthrope collaboration aspect of the society in your timeline. So in this particular timeline, well, you could say that humans are completely being not abused in a way, but they're essentially
Dream
how
fodder.
would you put it?
Dream fodder.
So
Maybe.
yeah, dream folder, exactly. So it's like we need to reach the door, so just throw any human that has shown some ability to navigate the astral dimensions, just throw him into the pit and see if they can solve the riddle and use them and then discard them. So what's the story behind Uriel? How is he connected with Oneiros and sealing in his
maybe it enters the spoiler territory, some things about his background, but on the surface he's like his personal chemist and cocktail mixer, because a hedonist like Oneiros, who has ventured so many timelines and experienced so many things, has high heights, has high requirements, is high maintenance when it comes to the substances and he requires his own special cocktails and
how he would enjoy himself. So he's not essentially like his chef, but he's a cocktail chef or a mixologist in
yeah, but
extreme.
he's basically like a brilliant scientist. But that's how Nero sees him, like my fixer, my cocktail, my personal fixer or something. So we definitely have a very colorful cast of characters that the players can interact. And going like to the getting closer to wrapping up this live stream, we have various scenes, and much like I saw a typo. Much like another module, we have for each scene ways that your players can use their meta powers and how, as a narrator, you can prepare for them or create new possibilities, roleplay and perk options. You have descriptions and guidelines for each and every scene, how you can play the scene with different outcomes. We worked really hard not to have a railroad story with 1, 2, 3, A to C, A to B, and so on, but rather give lots and lots of tools for the narrators to adjust to their players' preferences and style of play. So we really hope this works, and in the same fashion, carry on.
Now is the time to get the initial feedback from our alpha backers, and in a month everyone else is also everyone else that was part of the Anthology campaign will also get this module, as we're working on the background with the Either module that's coming next. So the Astral story is definitely the more close to home. It's not, the timeline is not the same as ours, but it is closely related. Instead of virtual reality, think and the internet, think walking the dream world and multiplayer games during dreams and companies that take advantage of this capability, and drug companies and all the other mega corporations ruling the world and having a very different geopolitical setting to what we have today in our world. But again, this is essentially a story that will take players in the dream sense, in the dreamscapes, where they will try to materialize the opening of the door and whatever that hides.
Let's talk a little bit about that
behind
before we wrap up today's live stream. But you said something really cool earlier. Imagine like going to your job, then going home, doing everything you need to do with your family stuff, and then when you go to sleep, you essentially log in for an 8-hour multiplayer massive online experience with your friends and your preferences. And imagine in this world, it's not so bad after all if you think about it. You can have your 16 hours awake, and the 8 hours that you sleep, you can experience like an amazing multiplayer interactive lifelike with the great graphics and best sound experience. I would definitely want to live there. It's not so bad after all.
It's a definitely very interesting timeline that's close to home. I mean, compared to what we saw with the Nether module, where you have the Library of Alexandria dealing with scrolls in a dark and damp basement with spirits of the Nether. Now you have, like we said, it's both at the same time a cyberpunk dystopia and a utopia of dreams at the same time. This setting, this timeline, and you're exploring both the timeline and the astral dimension on top of it, which we're not going to go into many story spoilers, but there's definitely a lot of interesting twists there, depending, of course, on your players' choices and how they choose to guide the story. There's definitely both NPCs that can help them, as well as all the security guards and other powerful entities that want to take advantage of the presence of the protagonists in these scenes. So
the story,
lots of elements to story build with the other factions and a bigger multiverse and a bigger arching story as well.
The last thing I want to cover is the ending of the story. The climax, should I say, is around this hyper realm. It is a race between all the dreamers to cross doors, face their fears, avoid their deepest desires and temptations, and explore themselves and go through deeper and deeper layers of this hyper realm in order to get there first and make this and see if this wishing well really makes wishes come true. As we said, we have a small chapter called Anatomy of a Wish, where we guide how to the players what type of wishes can come true. But all the resolutions are most of them are centered around if this character, if one of the protagonists enters, what could happen, or if maybe Oneiros is the one who actually crossed the final door, or one of any other NPCs, or none of them, or something terrible else happens. But here we have guidelines about how can narrators award these wishes and make them come true. We have different types of wishes that an NPC could wish depending on the earlier disposition that the coalition showed towards them. So there will be different endings if they sympathize and they hear the full Oneiros story and they try to get inside their mind, and they will be totally different if they antagonize him all the way through until the end. We have special outcomes for any of the other secondary NPCs entering, and something very terrible that we're not gonna spoil might happen. And I think it is a very different and a very unique and original idea. I've never really seen, and maybe I guess aside from my Inception, I could guess I've never seen any other story really playing so much with dreams and subconscious thoughts and all that wonderful jazz. So if you're really into any cyberpunk or dreamy stuff, definitely Astral is the module and the book for you to enjoy. That has been all, I think, for today. It's been quite a fun one.
Yeah, again, this was the very first alpha presentation. There's lots of things that we will be iterating on and improving, including lots of new artwork, cinematics and other stuff that will come as this module gets closer and closer to becoming ready. But yeah, this is the very first build. It will reach our backers probably by the end of the week. So if I think we have a lot of cool things here, and we can't wait to hear your guys' feedback. And we're back now working on the Ether, which comes next. But that was all for this short first look at the Metanthropos Anthology's Astral module that's coming very, very soon.
Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, stay legit
and stay meta.